In this demo, we'll look at how BlueCat Infrastructure Assurance provides the visibility network teams need to proactively investigate errors and get ahead of network downtime. Let's get started. As part of our day-to-day routine, let's get a quick view of the health of our critical DDI infrastructure here in the dashboard. Here we can see that we have some errors according to alerts by vendor. Let's scroll down to Issues at a glance to investigate further. There are a few categories that have errors and we should investigate. Let's look at those under high availability. We can see that connectivity has been broken between two BlueCat DNS and DHCP servers. Clicking on the error, we can get more info on the issue and remediation steps that BlueCat experts have codified for us. Beyond the failover, we can also see that our BDDSs have triggered an alert for query resolution that has increased beyond set thresholds. Thankfully, we again have codified knowledge with clear instructions for remediation provided to us, and we can act on them. This codified knowledge base from BlueCat is essential to getting ahead of network downtime. So what else can we detect and get ahead of for our critical DDI infrastructure? Let's jump into the Knowledge Explorer and look at configuration drift. When triggered, we get remediation steps to help us investigate and remediate. Looking behind the curtains, we can see the YAML file that shows us info like how often configuration drift is checked. We can also look at the commands used to identify that drift. And that helps us identify when someone is trying to fix an issue outside the recommended route. A user could, through the backend, attempt to modify, bind, or DHCP configuration versus directly through the recommended route address manager. So BlueCat Infrastructure Assurance uses our first diff to compare the local DNS configuration and the DNS configuration deployed from BlueCat Address Manager. And in the second diff, we're comparing the local DHCP configuration and the DHCP configuration deployed from BAM. This powerful investigative capability from BlueCat Infrastructure Assurance checks against standard config in DNS and DHCP infrastructure using always-on investigation and interrogation. You can also enhance the workflow of investigations using automation by enabling auto-triage against codified knowledge. In this example, we can see that all BlueCat DNS and DHCP server clocks are out of sync with our NTP server. This can create huge roadblocks to troubleshooting issues. To address this alert, we use auto-triage to accelerate investigations without having to recreate this problem. Here, we can go down the automated runbook of commands, checks, and results to see if it's a DNS issue, an interface link issue, and even ping the server to see if it's reachable or up and running. Without wasting time trying to recreate this issue and run these tests manually, with confidence, we can move on to best practices for investigating this NTP issue with additional remediation recommendations provided in this panel. And that's BlueCat Infrastructure Assurance for critical DDI infrastructure. Visit bluecat.com to learn more.